Being the last speaker for this panel, I promise I'll keep it short so that I don't stand between you and lunch. I again thank IMC for inviting me, Mr. Amit Agnihotri for reposing faith in me again and again every year. As a dean at IFMR Graduate School of Business, Kriya University, one of the things we've always pursued for the last 25 years is that research is the cornerstone of all our teaching. So we've never ever thought of that being less at all. If you take a step back and look at the Nobel laureate David Kahneman's work, he talks about System 1 and System 2 thinking. In 2022, when ChatGPT came, one can call it a System 1 or an intuitive way of thinking. You ask questions factually. Where is Tokyo located? Is New Delhi the capital of India? Most of the time, it was an intuitive, factual check that we did in ChatGPT. If we wanted to go, for example, to Japan, ask about hotels, and we would get it. However, in 2024, we moved to what, again, Kahneman talks about as System 2 thinking, namely analytical. Gen AI or generative AI is capable of thinking at all stages of our research. I'm going to start with a research question which I proposed, and I did write a paper in a matter of 2 days with Gen AI. And you tell me if this is fine or not, in the context of publishing being the mania among research institutions in order to move up in all kinds of rankings. So the hypothesis I generated was small loans empowers women. Small loans empowers women from the lower strata of society. Now, there are two ways of doing it. Of course, I got enough literature survey which told me that, yes, this is absolutely right. The following studies show it from both primary as well as secondary data. The second aspect is, I said, what if I am going to actually collect data? That's not needed because Gen AI can simulate data. And when it does simulate data, it's almost mirroring the real. And if I say I want to compare Uttar Pradesh to Andhra Pradesh, it can simulate data as per the stratified random sample I define. And with that data, all that I have to ask is, please check whether women are getting empowered due to small loans. And I get a set of answers. Now, if I make my hypothesis different, which I did, is that small loans do not empower women. It's able to give me the data to say that my hypothesis is true or false. Now, this is the danger, according to me, when I was asked by IMC to talk here. The biggest danger is it's very easy. I'm talking about a very simple research problem. Obviously, Gen AI, and we talk in terms of cognitive AI, when AI can start thinking and it starts giving you conclusive evidence. Because when we looked at industry leaders, when they spoke in the previous session, they talked about how you can use it to understand, for example, marketing, sales. I think part of business is fine to understand as it is. But to go forward, radical research and incremental research. 99% of us are doing incremental research. It's by chance that radical research happens. No, Thomas Alva Edison didn't go about inventing the light bulb. It just happened. So you can't go about saying that I will wait for my radical invention and not do any research at all. You could probably, if you have a pot of wealth at home, you can sit and do that. But as researchers and professors, we're all doing incremental research. To me, when I look at it, I look at the dangers of conclusions happening without validated data. And I do look up at various journals, and with so many distinguished editors sitting here, almost all journals talk about the rules of publishing. And they say that you have to be upfront about whether you use the AI tool or not. I too am doing a project sponsored by a particular government, and this project itself tells at every part where you're using AI research, do let us know. Is that enough? Thank you.